Anyway, so now back to something that I watched, because we're going to wrap it up with 2 DC things, because we still got a shit ton more to do.
What?
Creature Commandos, first 2 episodes dropped last week.
Oh, we haven't even watched this shit. We haven't even done this.
Creature Commandos, 2 episodes came out. I've seen a lot of reviews of it, talking about how they think it's how it's been mostly positive, generally positive, and like I don't want to take someone else's take, but I do agree with it. I think this is a great way to start his universe.
Yeah,
and a great way, because you know what he's doing. He's gonna be like, here, I'm giving you something right now that is has all of my filmmaking tricks and everything that you know for me of what I do with my writing and shit on display. Because this is very James Gunn. If you followed his career, this is exactly what you would expect him to make, right? Because I think that's perfect, because I'm telling you right now, Superman is going to be such a huge fucking bait and switch from this, and it's going to be the complete opposite. And that is him showing you, being like, this is what we're going to do, and we're going to tell the stories we want to tell, and something like Creature Commandos can have all the sex and violence and all that shit that it wants, and it could still be in the same universe as Superman. You know why? Because comic books have been doing it for years. It's that fucking simple.
My favorite. First of all, I knew I was gonna love it.
I fucking love
it. Every bit of it. The part where they're listening to him and the princess fuck, and he's
oh
like,
my god,
give him 30 seconds. Wait, he's been around a little bit. He's had some good.
Yeah, but
give him a minute.
No,
but he's an older guy.
But with his age, I don't know.
But I think my favorite part was the moment where G.I. Robot and what's the
the fish
Nina.
One.
Fuck is her name? Nina?
You know what I hate?
When they first meet each other, and literally their entire conversation is about how much he loves killing Nazis. And I just want to say that we need more of that on TV. We need more anti-Nazi shit on TV. You and I
talked about this.
More. Nazis are evil, and they suck. And if you're anything close to a Nazi, kill yourself. Sorry.
Wow.
Okay. Actually, get help. Get help. But stop being a Nazi.
If that doesn't work, then
I'm sorry, dude.
So you and I talked about this. I think another reason why this is a perfect way to kick off the DCU is he's pretty much giving you a double bird right away, and he's telling Nerdrotic and Geeks and Gamers and Heel versus Fuckface and Rip a Turd, all of them. He's telling them the same thing. Fuck off.
Yeah.
It's not for you.
We talked about it, and it seemed like it's almost made just to flip them off. It's great.
Tyler, he literally added a character to this team that's whole thing is talking about how he only wants to fucking kill Nazis. That's his whole goal at all.
Thumbs up. Way up.
The first scene, we get Cersei, right? Yeah, Cersei. Is that how he said it?
Yeah.
Which, fuck you. I always read it as Cersei, you jerks. Cersei, the whole premise of this is she's going to attack this country, or she's rallied a bunch of incels around her message.
Which is so funny.
It's amazing because one of the first things is like, all the woke feminist agenda. Men don't have any rights anymore.
I've heard they have really great waterfalls, but only women can.
Only women get them in Themyscira.
How come only women get the best waterfalls?
Why do the Amazon?
So fucking great.
Because
when they get their asses kicked later on, it's so great. Just murdered.
So
just straight up.
Let's talk about this. And again, going back to the theme, I'm telling you, this is all planned to bait and switch with Superman, because he's doing what is he good at? The misfits. He's good at the violence. He's good at needle drops. He's good at comedy. Like, he really does put all that in this. And I'll tell you what, it still fucking works. Like, I'm sorry, I keep interrupting you, but it still works. Fine. It still works. Weasel's still great.
I mean, thumbs up to everything. It's the story itself is interesting. I'm not sure. Like, I remember there was 2 seasons of Peacemaker, right? Or there's only one?
They just finished finished season 2.
Right. So
that's coming out in August.
Peacemaker season 1 was, to me, very similar. And
yes.
Here's the thing: is I don't know what this is leading to, but I do like the characters. I do like that. It's interesting to me that when he cast everybody, he said you've got to be able to play these characters in live action,
which is smart.
Great. So I can't wait to see them in live action because he said we will.
Yeah, he said
It's a very entertaining 28 minutes every fucking episode. It's right in your face. The animation is excellent. The writing is great. The characterization is awesome. And the soundtrack fucking slaps hard.
And you and I talked about this. When this first was announced, and they first were talking about this, and he said, and I said the video game thing kind of was like, I don't know about that. But it only makes so much sense to take these characters, introduce them through animation, and have them through something like this. Because I think I don't know how much of a role this will play in the grander DCU. I don't know if it even will that much. But it's for guys like you and me, for people that actually invest in this. When David Harbour's Frankenstein shows up in a movie, I'm going to lose my fucking shit. When The Bride shows up in something, I'm like, oh my God, they got The Bride. You know what I mean? Or Fosterers?
The interesting thing to me is I remember when it was first announced.
Yes.
And they talked about, Rick Flag Sr. And G.I. Robot and da-da-da. And I was like, okay, so it's a prequel. Right? It's going to be like
you and I both thought it was in World War II, yeah.
I thought so. I thought
Given The Bride and Frankenstein and like all that other stuff, I'm like, okay, yeah, it's going to be like a period.
I was fine
piece.
with that.
Yeah.
But now they're trying to tell me that Rick Flag Sr.'s around after. I mean, that's just weird to me.
Well,
but I don't really care that much.
It's only weird because Rick Flag was killed in Suicide Squad.
No,
which also
you couldn't just make him another
That's
character?
another thing too. This is clearly post Suicide Squad.
Yeah, obviously.
Post Peacemaker, because this is what he talked about with Peacemaker. He's like, most of that stuff I can make work in this new universe, and I think the Suicide Squad being attached to this makes a lot of sense, and it justifies the team existing in the first place brilliantly because she's like, well, after fucking Starro, I can't have criminals on a team anymore, but they didn't say anything about monsters. So
you have human criminals.
But they didn't say anything about monsters. And so then instead of Task Force X, it's Task Force M, and then we get the reference of like, okay, we are dealing with the death of Rick Flag, with him, and there's a reason why Rick Flag Sr. is in this, and like,
well, the fight between him and Dr. Phosphorus for the phone was classic.
Oh, so good,
so good.
Alan Tudyk as Phosphorus is funny as shit, and then the running gag of he explaining which smile he's giving is so funny.
I always look like I'm smiling. I'm a skeleton, but yes, I am smiling right now.
This one is a sarcastic one.
Sarcastic smile.
The Bride. So your favorite's probably The Bride. I would say Phosphorus I liked a lot, but G.I. Robot has to be my favorite just because
he's so great.
The fact when he's guarding the princess and his whole thing is he just keeps talking about how many Nazis he killed. Well, he walloped a whopping 96 Nazis in this battle. He's like
sent straight
and
to
then
hell.
He has that sweet moment with the fish
belong.
where he's like, I haven't killed Nazis with a friend in a long time. I hope to do that with you soon. Again, yeah, I think this is him unabashedly just getting out before anything else and just being like, well, you're not welcome here because you're a piece of shit.
I'm just gonna fucking say this to you, and you're probably not listening because honestly,
why would they?
Well, yeah, if you're who I'm addressing, you're definitely not listening to this, woke trash, because that's what we are, woke trash.
Just like this show.
If you believe that you are a crusader trying to save the world and you also work at Valvoline.
Right.
And you spend a lot of time at Dollar Tree. I just have to tell you, you are not anywhere near. And all you need to do is stop understanding that it has nothing to do with immigrants, why your life sucks. It has to do with you keep voting in these fucking fucks who want to make life harder for shitheads like us and you and us. And we're all the same, dude. We're all getting fucked. And you guys are, just the point is if you think that hating another group of people is going to somehow lift you out of poverty or whatever the fuck or get you a girlfriend, it is, whatever you think it is, you're wrong. And fuck you.
And you
need to be told fuck you a lot until you figure it out, pull your head out of your ass, and stop fucking with fucking human evolution.
Also, I'd like to point out.
Again, they're not listening because they're not listening to this woke trash. But yeah, please.
I was trying to segue that back.
I want you to.
I was trying to say that back because if you don't, you're gonna end up. And I was gonna say, don't listen to Amazonian sorceresses as well. They're not good. They're not good.
Yeah.
Her fight with the bride was fucking awesome. That was brutal.
Yeah.
But the part that messes me up is when she turned her arms and the fucking and this is wacky inflatable flailing arm tube man.
Yeah.
That was great. Oh, and when she smacks on the ground, and you know they're not gonna die, they're gonna show up again. But the whole thing where she smacks down and she's like, "I'm sorry," she goes, "Go fuck yourself." Their dynamic's great. Episode 2, where they focus on the bride, I think is really, really good episode.
I think what was the show?
Horniest episode of the 2 for sure. There's a lot of fucking in that episode.
Was it Agatha a little bit that was like each episode was kind of like focusing on one of the characters?
Yeah, because the next episode is going to be G.I. Robot.
If that's what this is about, then I'm totally all for that. I think that's a great way for a first season. And here's the thing about The Boys that has done a really good job is that they continue to mine those pasts of each character each season. So there's more, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Every time you learn something, you realize you haven't learned all of it, and there's much more beneath that and whatever. So I think that's a really smart way of introducing, characters, and then you can use that. And James Gunn is great at taking seemingly innocuous things, moments between people and turning them into, something so deep and so important, because that's what life is about.
Or the fact that he could tap into the idea of hey, DC has their version of Frankenstein. Why not play into that? Or, and the bride. These characters exist in DC. Let's use them. Mm-hmm. And again, I just keep thinking somehow this guy it's so interesting to see a filmmaker who I've never met and probably never will meet.
He follows you.
No, there's fake account on Blue Sky. I got excited and I was like, wait a minute. And I looked at it and I was like, oh, it's fake. But I just feel like this dude and I just understand each other weirdly on so many levels. Because you and I joke about it. I feel like he's making shit just for me.
Yeah.
Because think about it. He takes an idea of a found family superhero shit, already score for me. I love that. And then you add in the element of their monsters. There's this horror element. There's this gothic element to it, so I'm fucking into that. And then, you add on the fact that, it's a very funny, violent, crazy, over-the-top series. It's just hitting all the notes. And I want to talk about the bride's character, too, and her dynamic with Frankenstein. Because that ending to that thing, I was just like, this is... it was just smiling the whole time, because I'm like, I love... Already... We're seeing him do and we're seeing DC try things completely different than what they were doing.
You and I talked
in
about
the previous regime, and even what Marvel's doing, they're doing different things.
You and I talked about this off the air, and you had a great twist, or you had a great thought about this. Is the whole Victor Frankenstein bride relationship? It's a lot like
up.
Pretty Things.
Yes,
and when you
Poor Things, isn't it?
Poor Things.
Yeah.
When you understand, if you watch that movie, you understand that by the time, they show her masturbating and it's clearly she's hitting puberty mentally, okay? And then when she does start becoming sexually active, it's after she's, 18 mentally. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, obviously the inference is that at one point the brain in that body was a child's brain.
Well, and what I love...
It's murky enough that some people go, ew!
But this is what I love about that, too. Because it's meant to make you feel conflicted and weird about it. Because there's multiple layers to this. Because in a few scenes ago, she was teaching her how to talk. He was teaching her the things you would a child. And then at one point... When he gives her the necklace and they have the whole thing, there was weirdly romantic look there, and I'm like, are they gonna fuck? And then the next scene they're having sex, and I'm like,
I did not see that coming. I was like, whoa.
And I'm like, ugh. Because the thing is, what bothers me, I don't know how much time has passed between those scenes. I think the implication is that obviously she's consenting to this.
Yeah,
but still, it's what's so messy and gross about this. It's a couple of things. It's kind of like it's necrophilic because that's a corpse.
Yes.
Parts
whether you reanimate
together.
it or not, it's still dead pieces.
And regardless of how much time has passed, and a few scenes ago, he was teaching her as if she were a child. That's what's so wrong about this relationship. And I think it's done in a way that you're supposed to feel weird and complicated. You're not supposed to feel for Frankenstein because it's a forced relationship on her. And that's the whole point that I think James Gunn is trying to get at. She was manipulated by men her whole life because Victor, in a way, manipulated her and had sex with her. And then Frankenstein says,
she was made
I made
for
you to be mine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only reason she exists was and look, let's break this down. Let's break this down into feminism. Let's break it fucking down, dude.
Go. Two men talking about feminism.
Right? No shit.
Trump's America.
But seriously, like,
no, that's what. Yeah.
Think about how many like wives in the 50s and like the sexual revolution and all these other things. Think about how much that led itself to women feeling like all I do is I go through school so that I can be pretty enough to land a husband. What the fuck? Well, where am I? Who am I? Am I anything other than my husband's wife? Am I anything other than Mrs. John Smith? I don't even use my own name. I don't say Mrs. Violet Smith. It's Mrs. John.
Couldn't they not
that's fucked
use
up.
Credit cards until like the 80s or something?
Yes, they couldn't own land.
Excuse me.
Dude, women have had far less rights for far less time than people want to believe or understand. And when you think about it, it is a perfect allegory of, like, for instance, your marriage is a great marriage because it is two people as a partnership for life. The types of marriages that people were expected to have back in the 50s were, I'm the man, I work, you stay home, you have babies, you have kids, and clean. Yes. Everything is, I
make the bacon, you take care of the house.
I make the bacon, you fucking fry it. You know what I mean, right?
Yeah. Make me a sandwich.
And that is a perfect allegory for how women have felt in these modern times, these last 50, 60, 70, 80, 100 years. They are not, and often many times have not been treated as humans, but rather as an extension of a man, and that is not right. And I am all for women saying fuck you to that shit, dude.
But
I am single.
That's what I'm saying. More than anything, I will give him that much. I will give James Gunn that much credit in the team behind this show.
Yeah,
because I am having this much of a conversation about the Bride of Frankenstein in a fucking DC show, dude. That's how good it is, and that's what I mean. Like, when you break it down like that, when you have that thought, like, because I was so disgusted by that sex scene.
Oh yeah,
and I'm like, that's the point, because again, her whole existence has been manipulated by men, and she can't she has lived for hundreds of years trying to escape Frankenstein, a man she clearly doesn't want to be with.
The montage was fucked up,
but goddamn, that montage was funny as shit. That was so good. Also, what the fuck? He's a crime boss now? What was that? He was like Scarface on a fucking yacht?
Who the fuck knows?
So we keep swearing, but I didn't mean to go that.
Wait, we keep fucking swearing?
What the fuck?
On this fucking show?
I didn't mean to go that deep, but
but it's true, though.
I wanted to talk about it because that scene stuck with me a lot.
What, the fucking scene?
Victor in The Bride, because I'm like, why did that disgust me so much? It kept like running in my head.
I thought it was there more for you to see that Frankenstein saw that.
That too, but it was multiple things, because I think it was that, and I think it was a cool, like,
multiple organs.
Yeah. I also think it was interesting to the parallel, though, because it's showing a woman, I'm not saying taking advantage, but showing an aggression towards a man and saying, like, I want to have sex with you, I want to do this, and it's done.
Well, done
in a more comedic way, and then you have
it's consensual.
No, but listen to me. That's not what we're getting
Who instituted?
Stop. We're getting tied up in words. We're
No.
getting tied up in the words.
No.
What I meant to say, she was the initiator. She was the one who said, I want to have sex with you both times. He rebuffed her. And I'm saying you're having that sequence next to the bride sequence. I thought was an interesting choice.
She said she wanted to have sex with Victor Frankenstein.
Oh my God. No. I'm talking about the princess.
Oh.
I said the scene before that. Is this, and I didn't, you're right, I didn't specify. It's the scene in the bathroom.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I thought
that was just for comedic
I was trying to figure out why you're so confused.
I thought it was just for comedic effect.
No, I know,
I don't
but-
think that had anything to do with really anything.
Well, yeah, whatever. I'm trying to apply more to it. But yeah, it was more so
You're
comedic.
looking way too deep into just a fucking scene.
They literally had the two scenes almost back to back. I'm just saying there was some sort of connection there.
Was there?
There might have been a scene in between, but I remember them being back to back.
I think it also refers to how it's just it's a great show, and I'm very excited to see.
But the
more.
whole 30 seconds to 60 seconds thing made me laugh too. Oh, and then him being like, "Hey, I was a fucking bro to you," and he's like, "After you tried to kill me." This is after we fought over the phone because they were late because he was fucking the princess. Was even funnier to me. That's the whole reason they were late. And he's like, "I was being a fucking bro to you." Love Creature Commandos.
Off panel, off topic with Jake and Tyler.